Hey Gav, it is Friday the 19th of November. It's just before 12, so fingers crossed that I get this video up on time. I'm up against a deadline here. This is going to be a one-take wonder, and actually most of the videos for the next week and a half or so are probably also going to be the same because I'm in pre-production mode and I'm stressing out a tiny bit. I just had a 3-hour audio recording session with my director, which was excellent, more on that later, but for the next week I literally won't have time to do a proper video, and so you're going to get this one-takey kind of thing. I was actually going to do this on my iPhone, but my iPhone's out of space and I don't even have time to clear that up, so hopefully this gets exported in time. From your video, Frank watches these? Frank's over these? You're over these? I'm not. I actually still really enjoy Cousins Apart, even though we've been doing it for weeks and months and months and months. I like getting up in the morning and either working out a video for you or watching the video that you made for me. And I've learned a lot about filming, I've learned a lot about editing, and I think I've gotten better at talking to the cameras and moving my hands in a way that's visually interesting. I have an idea of what to do after Cousins Apart is over, but I'm going to let that bounce around up here a bit more before I put it out of here and into here and then into your here and here. So more on that in a future video. Also from your video, joint punishment sounds good. A-OK, apples and creams. I've fairly obviously got my notes over here I'm looking. Joel has just started a new feature on engraved paint, link down below, though you probably know how to get there, called 3 Question Friday, and I propose another rule amendment. We are both allowed to comment on 3 Question Fridays. We're not allowed to discuss our answers in the comments or anything like that, but we can both answer them. That's okay. So go along to the 3 Question Friday and leave your answer. So I was going to talk about being directed. Today, as I said, we had a 3-hour session recording the audio for the robot character in the kids show I'm doing. And I don't consider myself an actor first and foremost, but I do enjoy acting, and I particularly enjoy being directed. These videos that we do, they're entirely self-directed and self-edited. They're one man's, input. There's no one else involved in these. When I do improv, we bounce off each other, but there's no one changing lines or anything like that. And so when you do something filmy and you've got a director and they fine-tune it, I really enjoy that process. Where like today we spent about 45 minutes to an hour just on one line getting it exactly right. And in the process we learned a lot about the character and the themes and the scene and the emotions and just everything because you spend that time on it. I know you did a lot of theatre, and I've done a bit of theatre. In my experience, theatre directing is much more broad. You don't really focus on lines because that's going to change every night based on the crowd and the other performances and everything like that. Whereas with film, I feel that you can really go in and get those lines perfect, which is what I enjoy, and I understand why other people don't. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on film directing versus theatre directing versus being directed at all. We did a few things where we almost directed ourselves. The Chainsaw Blokes, for example, the Map Shop I directed, and so I was directing myself a lot of the time. And I think it came out okay, but looking back, it would have been better had there been an external person, with their own interpretation. I mean, that's the nature of collaboration. What we do together is way better than what we could have done by ourselves. So Gav, I'd love to hear some of your thoughts on directing during your weekend video, and I'll see you sometime before Sunday on midnight. Midnight on Sunday.